Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Shining Force. I'm your host, Craig Stern. You may recall in the last video we got ourselves set up to recruit Kokichi. We didn't actually recruit him, that'll come in the next chapter. And we fought a really long and boring battle, leading up to this bridge. This bridge has a much more interesting battle, which we are now going to fight. Right after this cutscene. Traitor, you've betrayed Lord Cain! I owe no allegiance to you or him, foul fiend that he is. You are only a mercenary. You do what we pay you to do. Here, I return your gold. I shall no longer follow your orders, Toad. If you are not with us, then you are against us! This, ladies and gentlemen, is George W. Bush, back when he was a centaur in the world of Shining Force. I will have the pleasure of killing you myself! Also, he talked really differently back then, George W. Bush. It's weird, like what being a centaur can do to your voice. Val fiend I! Ha ha! Thus fall all who dare to oppose the will of Darksoul! Alright, so after that pleasant little diversion, we get to see the laser eye. That creepy looking machine right there? Yeah, that is the secret weapon of the Ancients, or the secret weapon of Runefaust, or whatever you want to call it, that the chapter is named after. And it's actually a pretty nasty little piece of work. Ideally, you want to get through this whole battle without ever actually seeing it fire, because it won't fire unless your guys are in range of it when it finishes its countdown sequence. And it's quite doable to get through this battle without that happening. But if I did get through this battle without that happening, that would mean you would never get to see the really awesome attack animation that plays when it fires. So I'm going to make sure at least one guy gets hit, at least once, over the course of this battle. Because I'm just such a nice guy. Also possible, I might screw up, and someone might get hit. And that would have nothing to do with me being nice. That would have to do with me being incompetent. Luke can probably take a hit better than Ken, so I'll just stick him up there for when that lizard man finally gets down there. Man, I just love the sprite work on that laser eye. I just love that like little specular highlight on the right side of it. I also like the way it's shaded. It really makes it look like it has a proper glass front encasing the eye. I just think it looks really, really cool. That is one thing I cannot fault Shining Force for. The sprite work in this game is just absolutely fantastic. Even if I still have absolutely no idea what's going on with the top of the lizard man's head. Ahoo! Double attack, but the lizard man evades one of the two hits. This is high drama, folks. High drama. So you might be wondering why those dark elves are all sitting over here on this little mesa. It's because of this. See this little area here? When the laser eye fires, it hits this entire bridge. Every single space of it, except for these spaces here. These spaces are safe from the laser eye. Which is why you really want to kill those elves as soon as it's reasonably possible for you to do so. theory, you could have Balbaroy and Amon go and do it if you're using both of them. Although, they do not deal much damage, and they have really poor defense. Plus, there's all those Pegasus Knights. So in all likelihood, they're not going to get the job done. I would be so happy if Gong would just gain a little bit more in the magic point department. He had much better level ups the first time I played through this. I think it's funny it says targeting activated when it gets down to the 6-5 part of the countdown. I think it's funny mostly because it doesn't actually target at all. It just indiscriminately blows away everything in range. And the funny thing is, you don't even need to have more than one guy in range of that thing in order for it to decide it's going to fire. So, what you can actually do is just stick someone in the path of the laser eye, let it fire, and completely decimate like 4 or 5 different enemies that are parked on that bridge. Now, I could be wrong, but it looks to me like that Pegasus Knight is heading for Bouffant. Which is okay, I don't mind that. However, if he's going to go for Bouffant, I'd prefer to have Bouffant move back a little so that Pegasus Knight has to go into the midst of my troops. No opportunity to move him. I can move May up here, though. Look at those beautiful white fluffy clouds. You want to hear something absolutely nuts? I am actually not going to be in town in just a day or so. I am leaving on a trip, and I'm not going to be able to record any more episodes. Or, I should rephrase that. I am going to be able to record more episodes, but I'm not going to be able to upload them. I will not be having internet access where I'm going. So this is probably going to be the last episode you see for a week or so. I apologize for that, but there simply isn't much to be done about it. I'm afraid you're going to have to find some way to cope with the loss. The horrible, horrible loss of not seeing Shiny Force for a week. I don't know how you'll survive, frankly. But you must find a way to soldier on. It's what I would want of you. It's what everyone would want. It's what those Dark Elves would want. It's what Ken, the Centaur Knight, would want. He'd also want to stick a spear through this guy, but... let's not get too picky. Oh, he's leveled up. And attack increases by 3. Ken, you are a beast. What is his attack level at now? 32. Holy cow. That is nuts. I don't even know how to feel about that. It's like I've broken the game somehow. And there goes that Pegasus Knight, spinning around and exploding. Doing that thing everyone does when they die. Alright, now you saw it say 2-1 fire there, but you didn't actually see it fire. You're probably wondering, well, why didn't it fire? I'll tell you why it didn't fire, it's because it hasn't fired yet. It has a separate fire count in its countdown that happens after it says fire on its next turn. It doesn't entirely make sense. But whatever, that's just how the game is. I am trying to decide who I want to put in the path of the laser eye to make sure it actually fires and hits all those enemies. I know, I'll have Xylo do it. Xylo's a big boy with lots of hit points, he can take it. What I'd really like to do, if I could get the opportunity, is I would like to have Balboroy draw at least one of those Pegasus Knights into the Laser Eye's range of fire. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have a chance to before it fires. Hopefully I will. Nope, here it goes. Pretty sweet, huh? Yeah, I am a fan of the laser eye. It also adds a much-needed level of tactical consideration to an otherwise pretty straightforward battle. Once that laser eye fires, you need to start proceeding across the bridge very quickly. It is no good to tarry on the left side, because then you're going to end up getting caught just short of making it across the bridge before its next volley. We're all very impressed with you, Mr. Dark Priest. Very nice. We all wanted to see your little animation where you healed yourself. It was all very impressive. We have no time to lose. It probably seems like it takes a really long time for that laser eye to charge and fire, but it's actually not as much time as you might think. Pretty important that we hurry up here. I keep forgetting that low does not have heal level 2. See, look at that. It's already beginning the countdown. We have no time to lose here, folks. Ken Ken evades. Oh, Ken. Is there nothing you can't do? Well, this is almost certainly going to get the Pegasus Knights to both attack Balbaroi. But I need to start killing these things ASAP if I don't want to end up getting cooked by another round of Laser Eye. Okay, let's think about this. Killing that Pegasus Knight has to be priority number one. Even if my units are dealing curiously little damage to it. This may be the time to whip out Henri and Dao and have them strut their stuff. I don't want to move Xylo in just yet, not until he's had a chance to let someone heal him. Ken is still gaining a lot of experience from just hitting enemies, which I am quite happy with. Here comes Gort. This should hopefully be enough to bring him to level 9. Assuming he hits, of course, which is never a given with the Pegasus Knights. And he's going for Bouffant. No thought to self-preservation whatsoever. Boy, I sure would like to get a chance to move my mages. Yeah, the Laser Eye is actually pretty fast, which is interesting. It complicates the process of moving across the bridge, because you think you have more time than you do. I'm gonna have my centaurs form the vanguard out here, taking out these lizard men in advance of the main force. Not your most effective moment, Gong. Not exactly your time to shine, is it? And there's the Pegasus Knight, getting out his feelings of intense rage at Balbaroi's mere existence. You're a birdman, how do you exist? I loathe you so. That's what the Pegasus Knight is saying every time he attacks. Balbaroi could really use some healing, so I'm just gonna park him up here for a little bit. Hopefully Chris can get to him next turn. Let's move Gort. Luke. There we go. Might have to have Dao and Henri take out that other Pegasus Knight there. I think they're the only ranged units that really have it in them. And perhaps more importantly, they're the only ranged units who aren't going to waste a turn with having their attack evaded. And Ken's level 10. He's ready to be promoted. That's an exciting moment. Laser Eye, meanwhile, is not waiting for anyone. Only got 2 more turns before that thing reaches the end of its countdown. Whoa! Nailed him in a single shot. Ken is not taking any guff. Runefaust, on the other hand, maybe he's taking a little guff. He is not as strong as he was at the start of the game at this point, I have to say. His defense is actually pretty piss poor. If I remember correctly, he only has a defense of 12, which is not as bad as Chris or Low, but not much better either. Oh gosh, Henri can't even reach the Pegasus Knight. This is not good. Dao can, however. Although I wonder if it would be a better use of her to... Nah, I don't want to risk her getting taken out by one of those Dark Elves. I'm just gonna have her cook this Pegasus Knight a little. And it's Xylo's turn. Xylo can move quite far. And we're gonna be taking advantage of it. I wonder how close Buffon is to level 10. He's got a little ways to go. Those Dark Elves are cutting and running. Oh, not that one. That one is committed to the cause. Ooh, I don't want to waste that on Low. Let's feed that Pegasus Knight to someone who needs it. Dao, I want you to put the hurt on this Dark Elf here. Between you and Balbaroy, I think we can take him out. Maybe that's a little over-optimistic. Chris, take out this Pegasus now. You can do it. I have faith in you. See, look at that. A swing and a hit. And now, Balbaroy, show this elf what's what. Ho-ho! Balbaroy, taking him down in a single turn with a nice double attack. I'm impressed. Now, I don't think Buffon is going to be able to make it before that laser eye fires. So I am going to make a tactical decision here. I'm going to keep him behind on that ridge. Ken, meanwhile, is just murdering these people. They have no chance. It's almost painful to watch. The laser eye has surprisingly high defense, as you can see. I'm not particularly confident that we can take it out before it fires. That's a nasty little attack there. And the Silver Knight's going to run away like a big sissy. That's just what the Silver Knight does. Oh, that Dark Elf there decided that he had better things to do than going to join his companions over there. Like everyone else, he just hates Balbaroi. And can you blame him? I mean, Balbaroi is kind of a smug little bastard. He's like, oh, look at me, I'm a Birdman! No, not anymore. You hang out over there, Balbaroi. Chris will get to you in just a moment. You, Xylo, why don't you show this Dark Priest who's boss? Make him an honorary member of the One Hit Point Club. Sadly, because my healers are all just so slow, none of them are actually over there to heal May. Hopefully Lo can make it before the next turn the laser eye has, but I'm not particularly optimistic about that. Oh, Ken, you have enough experience points. Save that priest for someone who needs it. Ken is like a, I want to say a human meat grinder, but he's not human. He's a centaur. He's like a centaur meat grinder. You just feed enemies into him, and out comes a disgusting pink slime that is then fed to school children. Because that is what we do with pink slime in the United States. We feed it to school kids. Now that looked like a really smart move on the part of the Dark Priest, but it was totally scripted. Dark Priest was programmed to move down to that spot. Frankly, I'm kind of impressed that the AI was adaptive enough to have him actually heal himself afterwards. I don't think Lo's gonna make it. I think he is just within the danger zone there. Yep. Alright, Lo. Sorry, buddy. He survived at least, so there was that. That's pretty nice. It's nice of the game to let him not die in that fashion. Balbaroi's level 9, and once again, gaining absolutely nothing. You know, I would like to have a word with the people who decided that it would be a good idea to allow characters in this game to level up and gain nothing at all. It's not as annoying as having something evade your attacks turn after a turn, but it's up there with the list of design choices that I simply do not get. Alright, Gong. We get to make use of that heal level too for a change. one of many circumstances where ranged healing is really super useful. And that Dark Priest is really pain-averse. He's missing 2 hit points and he had to summon a healing fairy. Alright, let's have Luke deal some more damage to this laser eye here. Hey, hey, hey! And that's all it took to level him up to 9. Nice, nice, nice. Well, why don't you go over there and lick your wounds a little? Or even better, have a little fairy sprinkle dandruff on you. I hear that's even more effective than saliva. Oh, Laser Eye, you're just so cute. Your little warm-up sequence-activated talk. You really think you're gonna survive another round, don't you? What is this? I can't believe he survived. I also can't believe it's not butter. But that's another topic for another day. I'm not sure if this battle ends if I just go down there and kill the Silver Knight. Oh. Oh. Cheap. Cheap. I'm calling it. That was cheap. Balbaroy deserved better than that Shining Force. You know it and I know it. See, that's the sort of thing that makes me want to have deterministic battle systems. Which isn't to say all randomness is bad, but sometimes it's just more annoying than it is satisfying. That is just pathetic. Buffon, how much experience do you have? 37. I do not have the patience to sit there while Buffon painstakingly finishes off the laser eye point by point. What I will have him do, however, is head down there and kill that Silver Knight. Silver Knights actually give pretty darn good amounts of experience points. They will take much more damage from Buffon hitting them. Ugh. That is so pathetic. Chris deals more damage with an attack than Buffon. What have we come to? What have we come to? Alright, I'm feeding this guy to Henri. Henri's so blasé. Nothing gives her experience anymore. It's all just the same to her. That's why she needs a laser eye in her life. Something to boost her up to level 10. And she learns Muddle. Oh, Muddle. Muddle is the most useless spell in the game. It does literally nothing. Not even kidding. Doesn't do anything. I think they actually screwed up when they were programming this game. And left in a bug. Because I'm pretty sure Muddle is supposed to do something, but it doesn't. based on what I know from playing Shining Force 2, and yes, there is a Shining Force 2, muddle in that game, it causes your characters to become confused, which does pretty much exactly what you would expect based on your experience playing Final Fantasy games and other JRPGs. It makes characters wander around, controlled by a really, really, really dumb computer AI. Even more so than the dumb computer AI we're used to in this game, controlling the actual enemies. And it causes them to attack themselves, attack your characters, or sometimes just do nothing at all. But that's in Shining Force 2. This is Shining Force 1. And in this game, it does literally nothing at all, and I'm pretty sure that that is a bug. So, basically Henri just took up one of her spell slots with absolutely nothing. Based on that, you might come to believe that she's actually not a very good spellcaster, but you would be wrong. Because I believe her next spell, the one that comes after Muddle, is Freeze level 3. Oh no, it can't be Freeze level 3, she hasn't even learned Freeze level 2 yet. I think her next spell is Freeze level 2. I apologize, I correct myself now. And after that comes Freeze level 3. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And now Bouffant is level 10. Not the greatest level up, but I'll take it.
You may have beaten us here, but General Elliot will stop you in POW!
And now we're all just going to turn around a lot and explode. I really like that, how these enemies, when you defeat them, they have these speeches, and then they just turn around a whole bunch and explode. It's kind of silly. Whew, I thought I was a goner, but I caught a branch and just hung on. A great battle. I don't know who you are, but I want to tag along. And so Pell joins the Shining Force. Incidentally, I really like how a centaur somehow manages to climb up a vertical cliff face. I have no idea how he did that. Clearly, Pell is a magic centaur. Nova says... Well, who cares what Nova says? With the laser eye gone, the Shining Force heads toward the moving town of POW. Knowing that Runefaust is gathering its forces, our heroes hurried onward. And so ends Chapter 3, Secret Weapon of Runefaust. Do I want to record my exploits? Boy, do I ever! That is a vigorous head shake yes. I guess that'd be a head nod yes. Chapter 4, The Great Fortress of Balbazac. The Shining Force reached the POW Prairie to discover that POW was a town of wagons! Wackiness ensues! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have time for today. I might actually do one more episode, just because I have a little time to kill before I have to leave forever. I mean, for a week. And so I might use that to cast the next battle, as well as casting the exploration of this lovely little town, POW. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you enjoyed watching. I know I enjoyed playing. This has been Let's Play Shining Force. I'm your host, Craig Stern. I will see you all next time.